Some interesting facts have appeared that we didn't know before about the Russian-Ukraine war. For instance, Prigozhin's mutiny has revealed to the world that there are two schools of thought in Russia about this war, and one is a hardline school adhered to by Prigozhin and the Wagner group. And this school actually wants to win the war by much bloodletting, is not worried about how many civilians die in Ukraine and how many cities are destroyed. It wants carpet bombing. It wants, you can borrow the phrase from George Bush, shock and awe policy in Ukraine. And the other school of thought is adhered to by Putin, by the incumbent in Russia, and the Russian commanders, obviously following Putin's view, which is that the war should be won by Russia, but without painting the Baltic Sea red in the process. We must know that Putin, a patriotic Russian, is also committed to the Slavic race at heart. This is who he is. So he does not want to fight this war in such a way that Ukrainians die in very large numbers. But after Prigozhin's mutiny, we do know that NATO has found a window of opportunity to embarrass the Russian military and to turn this conflict into a Vietnam for Russia. They will push Ukraine towards that goal. But at the end of the day, it is not NATO forces that are facing Russia in Ukraine. It is the Ukrainians who are facing Russian forces head-on. And therefore, fighting this war to the last Ukrainian for scoring their political and military points against Russia is something Zelensky must not encourage. The Prigozhin mutiny, the post-Prigozhin mutiny period gives Zelensky a window of opportunity, and it is a short-lived window of opportunity because we do know the 2024 election is approaching in Russia, and Putin would not like to enter the electoral race as a candidate with the baggage of a stalemate in Ukraine and the economy burdened and the Russian soldiers dying. So as the election approaches, the hardline approach may be the mainstream approach in Russia, and it is Ukraine that is going to suffer as a result. So Zelensky should avail this opportunity instead of escalating the counteroffensive, which the NATO forces and the Europeans would like him to do. He should think for Ukraine, think as a Ukrainian leader and not as a NATO ally. He should approach China and with Chinese mediation, sit across a negotiating table with Putin and end this war through a mediated settlement of issues. You're watching Xenia Satti. Subscribe to the channel and we'll be back with more on this conflict.